We've had many royalties and many celebrities that have graced the feet of the Nation newspaper. And here we have one more, Sivers the Third, who begins his reign with his new album, 12 Days of Independence, released through Red Owl Records. And Sivers is one of our nation's premier rappers. He's been doing this since he was 14 years old. He's been through the trenches and now he's come through as a phoenix, rising with this straight heat of an album. And we want to bring him here to tell us more about this project and everything that inspired it. So, Sivers, welcome to The Nation. The Nation.
That's one of the best intros I've ever. Thank you.
Straight off the dome.
Straight off the dome?
Yes,
that's right, that's right.
So 12 Days of Independence.
Yeah.
Could you tell us about this album?
Well, we started the concept last year. I find there was a period of time where I felt like people skipped independence in November and went straight to December. Obviously, probably because of like corporate dollars or whatever. But for me, it was just like, yo, what is really going on? Like, there's so much music that is like released throughout the course of the year that are all independent, all Beijing. And I was like, well, there's 12 days of Christmas, right? You know, the countdown that they do. Like, what if we did 12 days of independence? And it's like, it's 12 songs, it's 12 videos. I wrote them over a period of like 2 weeks. And I just wanted to see if I could get it done. So the original challenge was we did it in like 12 days. Obviously, I didn't do that this year because that was crazy. But yeah, so they're all songs. The first year wasn't really about Barbados. The visuals were about Barbados. So if you look at each video from last year's project, 2022, it was we documented parishes. So like landmarks and places that we feel like in a couple of years they're gonna change. So there's gonna be like many time capsules, right? So this year the music is a time capsule where we talk about culture, we talk about different aspects of Barbadian culture, and that's where every song on the project is like one word.
Yes.
Bread, sugar, you know, Bamsi, you know what I mean? Right. So we wanted to kind of document aspects of Barbadian culture and bring back that whole spirit of like, you know, like I am Bajan, so bring back that spirit of like Kaiso, bring back that spirit of commentary, you know what I mean? Like really talking about issues. And you know, some of it's not all that. You know what I mean? Bamsi, teas, drinks, they're very like hearted songs, they, you know, but they all speak to deeper themes in a context, you know, across the 12 songs.
Yeah. So what it is available on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify, iTunes, and any kind of streaming services actually. Yeah.
I've been playing it heavy since yesterday and this morning.
Thank you.
Heading into work and while through at my desk preparing for this interview, I was listening to that. Yeah. And one thing I found is like it's a very well sequenced album.
Yeah. I wanted to create like when you listen to Home, the first thing I wanted to make feel like if you were a returning Beijing, it feels like you just get off the airplane. You know what I mean? Like you just get back home. You just want to taste like, you know, some sweet bread, some corn, some peas, some sauce, whatever it is that you into, you know what I mean? And then it kind of goes into a deeper thematic thing with like sugar. Sugar really is about how sugar has affected us as a people, you know what I mean? Like started from slavery to crop over turned into a festival, to the actual fetting aspect of it, you know what I mean? To the stuff that we eat, you know what I mean? Like my whole family has been riddled with diabetes through my grandmother, my mom, my dad, you know what I mean? So it's like sugar, and that whole thing, what's funny with that, sugar started from the whole concept of why do we say, yo, you sweet, why do we say that as like a term of endearment? You know what I mean? In hip hop, people used to say sweet as like if a rapper was lyrically capable to be another rapper, but it's like in Barbadian context, it's like we use that as a term of endearment or to like a compliment, like someone that you're interested in, you know what I mean? So it's like that started from there, and then the whole album is like that. It starts off with one small concept and just pigeonholes into something crazy.
Yeah, I'm imagining you getting all this inspiration from one little teaspoon of sugar. You're just like staring at it, and then you just everything opens up to you.
But I mean, if you look at the opening lines, blood mixed in every grain, Mother England stirred their teas off of Uncle Johnny's sweaty chains. You know what I mean? My grandfather's name was actually Johnny, so it's like it's very personal in very intimate ways. But you wouldn't know that unless you know me. But that's why I tried to explore through the project, getting people to like, because all these stories aren't mine. You know what I mean? Guns, you know, isn't me. I'm just rapping from the perspective of a gun. You know what I mean? Games isn't me. I'm just rapping from the perspective of like, you ever been somewhere and someone tells you something and you laugh at it because it's funny because it's almost like a nervous laugh.
Yeah.
Not that you actually find the situation funny, but everyone around you finds it funny, so you kind of laugh along. But it's not funny if it's involved with you. If someone you know is hurt, you get defensive, and that's what games is about. You know what I mean? So.
Because I was listening to that, and I thought it was like it felt like very personal, but I was also like, I don't know Sivers to be this kind of person. Ever listening to that? But the storytelling aspect of it is beautiful. Yeah. Like you have like a really incredible way, and I know one of your influences is Notorious Big.
Yeah, for sure.
Biggie Smalls, and you do have that also that sense of theatrical, two voices in one song.
I think what happens with music sometimes is that, for me personally, I try to transport people places. You know what I mean? Like even since Bridgestone, like that's my whole thing. I want to paint like this kind of like picture for you, and really put you in the context of a person. You know what I mean? Like all my songs aren't always coming from the perspective of me. You know, there are tracks like they're like together is my personal opinion on like the whole dated market thing. You know what I mean? Sugar is my perspective on like what sugar is, but like games and guns and you know what I mean, like their songs that are very Bread, another thematic song, Cheryl Lee Phillips. They're all thematic songs. Like Bread to me as well was a tribute to Kamau Brathwaite. He has a poem called Bread, and it's about creation of life, right? I never got to meet Kamau while he was alive, so for me, I did this song as like, okay, I'm gonna talk about the perspective of like creating child rearing from 3 different angles. Someone who wanted a kid, but then they got one and then they were just not ready for the responsibility. Someone who wanted children, but they were married and very devout, very traditional, and then they didn't end up getting it because of stillbirth. And then the last perspective is actually someone I knew from my neighborhood who, he wanted to raise his kid, but he was always like in and out of jail and crime, different stuff going on. You know what I mean? So it's like it's 3 different perspectives. And if you really listen to the album, is like if you look, funny you thought it was sequencing, right? Because at the start, the album is like very conceptual. Then the middle of the album is very party oriented, and then right to the end is literally concepts.
It's deep. Yeah. And then at the end, it's some real deep
There's
stuff.
There's layers to it.
Yeah. So Bridgestone was one of your earliest singles.
Yes.
You got radio play from it. You got your music video. It's very creative. Yep. And I would say for me is one where I saw you really come up because you've been doing this rap thing for such a long time. So what has it been like a rapper in Barbados going up to this current moment where you have more of a movement?
I mean, it's hard. I still remember the days of having like 200 followers on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like I still remember the days of like putting up stuff and getting like 5 likes, 3 likes, 4 likes. You know what I mean? I think for me it's just a matter of not only, I won't say the typical like never give up, but it's like, it really is that you have to kind of have like a very selfish drive in the sense of like, yo, I know what I want out of this, even though I'm not getting anyone to listen to me right now. I know that I know I'm good enough that eventually I'm gonna produce something that's gonna get people to like put their ears on it. You know what I mean? Like I've done mixtapes, I've experimented with songs, I've worked with a lot of producers, but I really think since working with my mixie, Richie, Red All, when we started the company, like, it became a more focused movement. You know what I mean? I think I was always militant. I've always been trained different aspects of the business. Like I used to throw this show called Avenue. It was like a hip hop show in Barbados. You know what I mean? Like we did that, and then I think I juggled with different hats in the industry. I always wanted to be an artist, but I kind of had to figure out how everything works to not do it myself and let other people do it for me. So yeah, I would say learning the business, learning music, learning myself, a lot of things. I'm not the same person, like a lot of people who I started doing this for have virtually passed away, and I just kind of doing it as like a tribute to them and a tribute to myself and my own family. So yeah, I would say it's hard. It's hard. I would just say it's all about having a plan, man. Like having a plan of where you want to go. Developing your song, whatever that means, like recording as much songs as possible, and trying to figure out what you want to talk about. You know what I mean? Like I'm still figuring out to these days, but like as you can see from this project, it's a lot more conceptual and driven than the previous stuff I put in. You know what I mean?
It's a very complete work, and I remember Avenue one of the very first avenues I went there, and I do believe that first one there was supposed to be a rap battle.
Yeah, and then it didn't happen, and then it happened outside. Like,
everybody came outside, outside of the cove.
Sun Rock versus
a group of people just rap battling.
Malik Rogers,
yes,
bro,
yeah.
That was crazy. That was a moment in culture.
It was amazing, like to see that happen and being there and not seeing.
Because I think it didn't happen because once somebody was late.
Yeah.
And then they had to finish the show because I had to start the after party at a certain time. And then I remember somebody come and tell me, I was like, yo, bro, Sun Rock and outside battling in the streets, bro. I was like, huh? You know what I'm saying? It was just like a whole, like, imagine St. Lawrence Gap in front of Cove, and there's like 30, 50 people just huddled around these two guys battling.
It's like a lumberjack match.
It's like you literally imagine yourself just transported to like New York.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You right there in your heart. It was cool, man. Yeah, it was cool.
And I want to bring that up because you did travel and you met a number of people outside, and you spent some time like seeing what the scene was like outside of Barbados.
Yeah,
so what was that moment for you? How did that change you or mold you coming into this album?
I mean, LA really was just like it was a big risk for me. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go there with no big budget or anything. I just literally went there like, oh, I got invited to a pre-Grammy party, and that was it. And then I kind of just moved, chuck and jive, got around in different circles, different places, trying to make it. And I met a few people, you know, out there that was doing rap, doing hip hop. And I ended up getting into like this private Sony party. You know what I mean? But again, all on the merit, I was just talking. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you gotta put yourself in positions to win. Like, I didn't go there with like multiple opportunities, but I created my own opportunities. So yeah, but I mean, LA was different because they kind of showed me, yeah, maybe I'm doing okay, but I need to work harder. You know what I mean? I need to do more. I need to think about this on a different level. You know, I need to figure out how to make money out of this. I need to figure out the selling stuff. I mean, and the funny thing is, the last 2 years have been that. Like, we started our own publishing company with BMI. We got all our mechanical royalty stuff sorted out. So it's like you had to kind of set up the shop first, and then start playing back out the product. Because it's like, if you playing on the product, your shop ain't ready. Like, suppose, I don't know, before we would just, when I was younger, like, if you want to do a comparison of 14 to now, I would just go on YouTube, rip a beat, record it on my shitty ice phone microphone, and spend hours trying to mix it on my own. I mean, now, you know, we go into the research of things, we build beats from scratch, make sure we own the masters to everything, make sure we register everything. We know exactly how we're going to market it, we know exactly who we're trying to target, we know exactly what kind of visuals we're doing. Again, it's a very team process, but I am very hands-on. Never tell me that I was a control freak. So I try not to be, but it's like, to me, this is just my baby. I've been building this for a while.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So this is 12 Days of Christmas, 12 Days of Independence.
Yeah, 12 Days of Independence.
Instead of 12 Days of Christmas. That's an idea right there. if you want to do it, you can have that plan.
Shoot.
But 12 Days of Independence. What do you have planned after this? Not 12 Days of Christmas.
After this project, I would say I got another project coming in February and one in January. So Shadowboxing Demons in Babylon. That's my next project. Shadowboxing Demons in Babylon. Yeah, it's a more rap centric project. You know what I mean? It's very, very precise. I'm actually gonna be working on these stuff for that soon. And then in February is like a love themed album called Songs for Her, $signs for Me. So you get very early in the year, you get 2 new projects for me.
There you go.
And they are all done, recorded, and everything. I just gotta do the other side of things, register and everything, take pictures, blah blah blah. And I got Benny the Butcher feature on.
Yeah, I just want to bring that up. You can't just drop that. Benny the Butcher.
Yeah, Benny the Butcher.
So people who don't know, Benny the Butcher is one of the top guys doing it in hip hop right now. Part of Griselda. Yeah. Every album he drops is a straight out fire. So how did you get this guy on this song?
What happened was we had bought a beat pack off a producer, and he had already had like the verse on there, a bunch of other verses on there too. So when we bought the beat pack, we went through it and I was like, oh shit, this be hard. So then we had to kind of negotiate the rates to make our own beat, and then we had it. We had it there, and then we kind of sat on it for a while. Because we had this song for a while. We had this song shortly after it came out from LA, actually. And we were just like, yo, I just can't put this out. Like, we gotta really figure out what we want to do with it. And it's only up to working with a producer called Cash. I was working with Cash when he was here in Barbados. Cash Green, show up Cash. And I was working on a song called Roses. And I was like, yo, I definitely know what I want to do. I want to do this project called Shadow Boxing in Babylon, because I think it's like very gritty, you know what I mean? And I feel like that song would fit perfectly. Because the song with me and Benny is called Hood Famous.
Hood Famous.
Yeah. And it's about how kind of like corporate America and the world has kind of taken us like black boys from like ghettos or like impoverished areas and kind of turned us into these like stars from like money, like these cash cows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how Jay-Z went from being a hustler to a billionaire.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what these songs about. You know what I mean? Hood Famous. And yeah, so I look at to put out.
Yeah, I can picture that verse in my mind already.
Yeah. Beat is crazy, man.
No, I bet.
Yeah.
Like, look, from this album, what's the song that you had that was like, either the most personal for you or the one that's your favorite one that you did out of this album?
I mean, I think it changes. It changes depending on the day, but I would say the song I am most impressed on, I would say Sugar. Sugar and Kid. I think those are the two personal ones for me. I'll tell you what. So for me, we work backwards. Ken, which is the last track on the project, is about 3 different perspectives. Perspective of a slave who had no rights and used to work for no money. Perspective of our parents who sacrificed a lot to put us in certain positions. And then the last perspective is the next generation who can have all the benefits, all the privilege, but we kind of seem to be very hard on it, you know? And I feel like that's important, because to me it's like, Ken is like a letter to the future generation, you know what I mean? It's good to never forget where you're from, always remember where you are, because that helps you to know where you want to go, right? Because my idea on tradition is not very stagnant. My ideas on tradition is, it's not about passing on the practices only, it's about improving upon the idea. Look at a song like Bonzi, right? If you think about the excerpt of that folk song, the other half of that song pretty much is sexual assault, you know what I mean? But I was able to take a song bite of something from the past and turn it into something new, different connotation, right? And the album has a lot of that. It talks about a lot of things from the past and how can we improve upon it in the present. So the same thing with Sugar, it's like, who's really making money off of this? You know what I mean? Like, and the album, and Sugar says something along the lines of doctors amputating limbs and they getting bonuses to keep their children's teeth prim. That's been, you know what I mean? Like, but it really is a real thing. Like we are amputation capital in the Caribbean. Like, a lot of people lose their limbs here. You know what I mean? A lot of people lose their limbs in the region on a whole because of sugar, because of diabetes, because of not really having a good relationship with food. You know what I mean? My grandmother had, rest her heart, she had diabetes. My mom has diabetes. My dad has diabetes, you know? And my mom started off with just like hypertension, sugar, you know what I mean? So it's like, our addiction to these things, is it healthy? Are we using this to like comfort? Are we like eating our way through a lot of these scenarios? Like, Barbados is a very hard place to live, like economically. Barbados is a very hard place to live socially. You know what I mean? I feel like we don't even talk to ourselves, so how can we talk to other people? You know what I mean? It's a very, yo, you gotta get through the day kind of day. You know? And most days are like that. If you spend half a year, 365, just trying to pay bills, just trying to survive, then when do you find time to develop as a person? When do you find time to have these conversations with your friends, with your family, with your peers, with your relationships, with your partner? You know what I mean? Like, and that's pretty much what I like. I like Sugar and I like Kin. But I have a personal relationship with every song on this album. I mean, Bombs is the song that everybody want to hear, want party to, but to me it's like, I'm glad about how everything came out because it's a good balance of everything. Yeah.
My favorite one was Bread, but now you say that, I may have to reconsider. I think it's truly what you said, like, all of them have like a very personal thing and it's something that makes them amazing. Like, truly has been one of like the best listens I've had.
Thank you.
For a long time.
I think it's like, that's what we love hip hop, man. Like, you go back to an album And it's like depending on where you at in life,
Yeah.
the album means different things
Yes.
to you. Like me listening to Reasonable Doubt, no, doesn't mean what it meant to me
It's
when I was 14.
different, yeah.
When I was 14, I was just like, yo, Jay, amazing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, you know, or listening to Blue and Exile, Below the Heavens for
Oh
the first
man,
time.
that's,
Or
now you're talking. But
Reflection
that's
Eternal.
That's a personal.
You know what I mean? I love that
Yeah.
project. You know what I mean? Like that's the reason I rap, because
Yeah.
like people like Blue, people like Exile. You know what I mean? Or hearing a Pete Rock beat for the first
Yeah.
time, or hearing a No ID beat for the first time, or
Yeah.
hearing Hit Boy. You know what I mean? Or like Nas on King's Disease. Like it doesn't matter whether it's now or then. There's always something about hip hop where it's like you can listen to something, and it's like a good book.
Yeah.
If you read it from a different aspect of your life, you will always get more out of it, or less out of it, or a different perspective.
Yeah.
You know, so I hope that my project with an S moving forward.
Yeah.
I hope all of them do play different parts in people's lives. You know, whether it be Shadowboxing in Babylon, whether it be Rap Basquiat, whether it be Songs for Her, whether it be the 12 Days Project, and as long as BH would say, as long as God put breath in my lungs next
Yeah.
year, I would love to do another 12 Days Project. You know,
Yeah,
so,
so go check that out. 12 Days of Independence. And
Yeah.
thank you, Sivers, very much.
Thank you
for
for your time, my G.
Thank you. It's
thank you,
been
thank you.
amazing
Appreciate
stuff. Go check out Alyssa. You can follow him on IG at Sivers The Third.
Yep, SIVERS Third. You can find me on everything. The same thing. The project is out now. You can find on if you ain't got Spotify or iTunes, go on YouTube. The next project is gonna be out on everything as well. Big up to everybody at United Masters. They were really helpful in my transition to a new streaming distributor. So
Yeah. And stay tuned to the place where you find all the dope artists on the island. Nation News.
this is my right here.